Welcome to my full ship tour of Balmoral, one of the cruise ships in the Olsen Cruise Lines Fleet. Balmoral is a really unique ship to any of the others that I've cruised on, and I hope that by the end of this tour, you'll be able to understand why. She's a smaller ship, carrying just 1,325 passengers, and she has 710 cabins on board. Balmoral's crest, or logo, shows the British royal family's Scottish residence, Balmoral Castle, nodding really quite nicely to Fred Olsen's historic links to the country of Scotland. If you do enjoy this video today, then please do consider supporting my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons, and now come and join me on board this absolutely beautiful ship as I show you around every single venue that Balmoral has got to offer. We're beginning our tour today in what is truly the beating heart of this ship, and that is the main atrium, which spans across decks 6 and 7, so you'll see it again later in this tour. You'll find a number of key facilities here, including guest services and also destination services, so whether you require assistance with something on board or ashore, the teams here should be able to help you out. You'll also find deck 6 of the main atrium is home to the Oriental Tea Room, which is the bespoke tea lounge offered on board Olsen Cruise Lines ships. If you like the sound of settling down into a comfortable armchair or maybe even a sofa with a cup of tea, then this could be right up your street. Leaving the main atrium behind and beginning our journey towards the back of the ship, the next venue that you're going to find is the photo gallery. If you use the onboard photographers to take your picture throughout the cruise, this is where you'll come to browse those photos or to make any purchases. This is also where you'll find the Floral Blooms shop, which is the onboard florist. If you'd like to place any flower orders, you can do that prior to boarding the ship, or once you get on board. Leaving the Floral Blooms shop behind, we now find ourselves approaching the first included dining venue on our tour today, the Balmoral Restaurant. You'll find this venue towards the back of the ship on deck number 6, and this is one of 3 included sit-down dining rooms on board. As a passenger on Balmoral, you'll be assigned to a dining table for your evening meal or your dinner. That table could be here in the Balmoral Restaurant, or it could be in one of the other 2 sit-down included dining rooms, the Spey Restaurant or the Avon Restaurant. The venue that you're looking at right now is named after Balmoral Castle in Scotland, which you can find in the Speyside region. The castle grounds have got both the Spey and Avon rivers flowing through them, hence the name of the other 2 dining venues. If you're assigned to one venue for your evening meal, don't worry if you want to try the others, because all of the dining rooms on this ship are open for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So if you have dinner in the Balmoral, for example, you can go and have breakfast elsewhere. All of the restaurants have large buffet stations, and you can expect to find buffet offerings in addition to sit-down table service for breakfast and lunch, with dinner being a more formal affair. I usually complete my ship tours starting from the bottom of the ship and working my way to the top. However, for Balmoral, I was really keen to start in the main atrium, so we need to excuse our usual flow to now talk about the Olsen Art Studio. You'll find this venue down on deck 3, and I really love the fact that you can come in here any day of your cruise, use any of the equipment that's available to draw, paint, or maybe even just relax and make some new friends. Let's now talk about the promenade deck on deck number 7, which is one of my absolute favourite features of Balmoral. The promenade deck on this ship wraps all the way around deck 7, and if you complete 4 laps, that's the equivalent of 1 mile. So it's the perfect place to come, get some steps in while absorbing some of this incredible scenery. At the very front of the promenade deck, you'll find a walkway which gives you the most stunning view out across the front of the ship. It's so rare that you can find good forward-facing views on so many cruise ships, so this one on Balmoral, make sure you add it to your list, especially if you've got any scenic cruising during your itinerary. Let's now move inside, but let's stay on deck number 7 and let's look at the Neptune Lounge. This is Balmoral's version of a show lounge or a theatre. You'll find in here that evening dancing will take place in here, the main shows will take place on here, and this is also the venue where guest enrichment will take place. So if you're looking to attend a lecture while on board, this is where you'll come. You'll find accessibility reserved seating towards the back of the venue, and this is where you'll also find the Neptune bar, which is a bar that you can either use waiter service to order from, or you can just pop back here, get your drink, and then make your way down to your seat. I really liked how this venue was so multi-purpose. Directly outside the Neptune Lounge, you're going to find the top floor, or the top level, of the main atrium, which we were in earlier on. So downstairs, you've got the Oriental Tea Room, you've got guest services, and you've also got destination services. On this upper level of the main atrium, you're going to find Future Cruise. This is where you can come if you'd like to get a little bit more information on a cruise that you're considering booking in the future, or maybe you'd like to make that booking. Either way, you can do that here. You'll also find a number of shopping boutiques, so think things like perfume or aftershave, clothes, lots of Fred Olsen branded items, and there's also an onboard jeweller. So I would have confidence that whatever you'd be looking to buy while on board, you probably stand a decent chance of being able to do it. So you'll find these boutiques available on the upper level of the atrium, and the Fred Olsen shop is just downstairs at the bottom of the main staircase. As we now move away from this upper level of the main atrium to continue our journey towards the back of the ship, the next venue to show you is the Botanical Room. This is one of the main lounges on board, and it's themed all around the subject of plants. Isn't it amazing how many live plants there are in this venue? This is also a great place to come if you'd like to try your hand at one of the many jigsaws that will be progressed by all of your fellow guests throughout the cruise. This part of the ship is also home to the Bookmark Cafe. If you like the sound of settling down in your chair in front of one of these huge picture windows, watching the world go by with a specialty coffee, or maybe even a couple of handmade chocolate truffles, then you might want to check out the Bookmark Cafe. Just next door, you'll find the card room. If playing cards is up your street, then you'll want to make note of this one. This room is open 24 hours a day throughout your cruise, and in my experience, it was very, very popular. There are a number of events and activities that will take place in here. If you'd like to get involved, just keep an eye on your daily schedule or your daily times, and you'll find out when you have to come down to take part. Just behind the card room is the Earth Room. This is another one of the lounges on board which does blend round into the Bookmark Cafe venue, but this is also Balmoral's library. You'll find a wide number of books in here. You'll also find some board games, for example Monopoly, which you can maybe see towards the bottom of your screen. You can choose to make yourself at home with any of the books in one of the armchairs or sofas here, or if you'd like to check a book out and take it back to your cabin or suite, then you're absolutely welcome to do that too. You just have to use the paperwork to check the book out, and then you can use this book return here to return it before you leave the ship at the end of the cruise. Continuing towards the back, the next venue is the Morning Light Pub. This was, on my cruise, one of the most popular venues on board Balmoral. If you think about what a British pub would feel like, that probably gives you a decent idea of what to expect from here. You'll find some fantastic art all around the room depicting various ships, and just outside the Morning Light Pub, you'll find indoor shuffleboards. I'll take you outside and show you outdoor shuffleboard later, but I've only ever seen this game on one other cruise ship, so I absolutely loved playing that while on Balmoral. Just along the hall is the Thistle Restaurant. If you've previously cruised on Balmoral prior to 2025, you might not recognise this venue, and that's because it's been fully refurbished as part of the recent dry dock that Balmoral went through. This is the significantly upgraded, in my opinion, onboard buffet. This feels far more like a restaurant than a typical cruise ship buffet would. You'll find this place open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, an afternoon tea or afternoon snack, and also late night snacks, or supper club as it's called. You'll find lots of space in here. This buffet station you're looking at right now wraps all the way around to the other side as well. So in my experience, it was never busy in here. I was very impressed with how well this venue handled crowds. I won't cover all of the food in this video because you're here for the ship tour, you're not here for a food tour. But if you'd like to learn more about the food on board, then do make sure that you've hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because I'll be showing you so much more in my future videos. You'll also find, as part of the Thistle Restaurant, a tea and coffee station. This offers you unlimited complimentary tea and coffee. This is available all day and all night. You'll also find the ice cream bar here. It was closed at the point of shooting this video, but you can come in here and you can pay extra to order cones or ice cream sundaes. All the way at the back of the ship, on deck number 7, is the outdoor swimming pool, which is probably one of my favourite aspects of this deck of the ship. Looking out towards the open ocean at the back, this deck just felt absolutely beautiful. I really like a tiered aft when you're on a cruise ship. In other words, a tiered back of the ship with the various terraces as you work your way up. And you can see here that there are the various levels hanging down over this deck. It's really absolutely gorgeous. My top recommendation to you would be to make sure that at sunset you come out here with a drink, relax, take in those views, and just reflect on what a great day you've just had. We're now up on deck number 8, and the next venue to look at is the Lido Bar and Lounge. You'll find this venue towards the back of the ship, and this is one of the main entertainment venues on board. You'll find lots going on in here, both during the day and also at night. During a day at sea, you can expect to find things like line dancing classes in here. You might also find cookery demonstrations, and at night you can find things like live entertainment, karaoke, so on and so forth. As you move towards the back of the venue, you'll also find a number of digital screens showing a really wide range of sports. So don't worry if you're cruising and think you might miss the football or the rugby, for example, back home. Just speak to the crew here and they'll let you know what they've got access to. Right next door to the Lido Bar and Lounge is Colours and Tastes, which is the main speciality restaurant on board Balmoral. Olsen Cruise Lines promise that Colours and Tastes offers exceptional Asian fusion cuisine, and based on my experience, I would have to agree. The food in here comes from a wide range of places, including Japan, Thailand, China, the Philippines, and it's some of the tastiest food that I've ever had while at sea, which is a pretty bold claim, but my challenge to you would be that if you are cruising on Balmoral, book a table in here and see if you agree. You'll save some money by booking your table here prior to the cruise, so it's worth logging into your online account and making that reservation prior to boarding the ship. Moving up to deck 10 now, all the way at the very front of the ship, is where you'll find the Atlantis Spa. In here, you've got a number of different facilities. First, let me give you a quick look at the beauty salon. If you'd like to get your hair done, your nails done, your feet done, you could come in here to do that. And look at the views looking out of all of that glass. It's absolutely beautiful. If you'd rather relax and have a massage or some other form of treatment, then there's a number of treatment rooms available. My top tip, and this is something that so many of my fellow cruisers that I met while on board didn't know about, there are a number of individual sauna rooms up here that you can book for yourself or you can book as a couple. In here, you'll find a shower and a sink on one side, and you'll find a small sauna on the other. Perfect for warming up if you're maybe cruising in a colder part of the world. In the Atlantis Spa, you'll also find the fitness centre. Here, you've got a wide array of cardio equipment and also a wide array of both free weights and also machine-controlled weights. I never found the gym during my cruise to be busy, so if you are planning to cruise on Balmoral and fitness is relatively high on your agenda, don't worry about not getting space. There's also a fitness studio in here, and there's a number of classes that will take place throughout your cruise. that you can sign up to. Think things like yoga, Pilates, so on and so forth. At the other end of deck 10, so at the back of the ship, you'll find the other two included sit-down dining rooms that I told you about when we were downstairs in the Balmoral. Up first, this is the Avon restaurant, which you'll find on one side of the ship, and shortly I'll take you into the Spey restaurant, which is on the other side of the ship. One thing that I found really interesting was that these two venues felt almost identical, and in fact, during the breakfast and the lunch service, they do share the same buffet serving station. What they do is they simply open a room in between the two restaurants, and that's where the buffet station is. What I really loved about both the Avon and Spey restaurants was the volume of glass up here. Look at the scenery as you sit and enjoy your breakfast, lunch or dinner. It's absolutely remarkable. As I mentioned earlier, don't worry if you are assigned a table in the other dining room and you're looking at this and thinking I'd like to eat there. You're only assigned a dining table for dinner, so you can come up here for any other meals during your cruise. We're now up on deck 11, which means it's time for me to show you the main top deck space, or the external deck space on board Balmoral. I was really impressed with the top deck on this cruise ship, and I found that even during the scenic cruising days, it seemed to handle people really well. While I was on board, the ship was sailing at full capacity. It was during the colder months of the year in Norway, but I never found the top deck space to be overly busy. The first facility to show you up here is the main swimming pool. I did show you the other swimming pool on deck 7, but this one is much larger. There's also a shallow end to this pool, so if you are travelling with young children, then don't worry, there's somewhere that's perfectly safe for them to enter the water. The top of the pool is framed with this absolutely stunning piece of artwork, and at one end of the pool, you're going to find two very warm, very comfortable, even on a colder weather itinerary, hot tubs. It was absolutely glorious to grab a drink and relax in here. All around the pool, you'll find a large number of sun loungers, and they go down both sides of the pool and then down towards the back of the ship. Moving from the front of the swimming pool towards the front of the ship, you'll then find the outside seating from the marquee bar. This is a great place to come and watch a scenic sail away, or even just to come and enjoy a few drinks during a day at sea. There's lots of full sun seating available there. There's also lots of shade thanks to these pergola style covers, so don't worry about being out in the sun all day long. The marquee bar itself is through an automatic door heading again towards the front of the ship. In here, you'll find a conservatory style venue with lots of glass and a large glass lantern in the roof directly above the bar, meaning that you can stay lovely and warm in here even if you are cruising to somewhere that's pretty cold. During my cruise to Norway, this area here was incredibly popular. All the way at the very front of the ship on deck 11, you're going to find the Observatory Bar and Lounge. Lots of my shots in here were taken in the evening due to the fact that this venue was one of the most popular on board, so it was very difficult to get in here during the day to take some shots for this ship tour without having lots of passengers in view. You can imagine during the day this would be absolutely stunning, and in fact, let me show you what some of the views look like from up here. The observatory is used for evening entertainment, so think piano bar style entertainment up here. You'll also find the traditional afternoon tea is hosted in here, and there are also a number of other premium events, for example a cheese and wine event, that are held within the observatory. All the way at the very back of the ship, on deck number 11, is where you'll find the games courts. You've got one on either side of the ship. Think things like outdoor shuffleboard, which I mentioned that I would show you earlier on. If you're not too sure how these games work, don't worry. The rules for all of these games are very conveniently found on the wall. Back here, you'll also find a golf net, so if you are a keen golfer and you'd like to try and perfect your swing, then you're not going to be able to have access to a full golf course while on a cruise ship, but you do have access to a golf net. One facility that I would like to show you that is found in various locations on board Balmoral is the onboard laundry room. These laundry rooms are open between the hours of 8 AM and 8 PM, and once inside, you'll find a number of washing machines, tumble dryers, irons, and also ironing boards. These rooms are perfect, especially if you don't like to return home with a bag of washing, or if you're on a longer cruise and you'd like to maybe not take as much and have the ability to wash as you go. And that's it. That's my full ship tour of Balmoral, the cruise ship from Olsen Cruise Lines. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, it would be great if you would think about supporting my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. If you'd like to stay with me and check out another video, then why not come over to my Olsen Cruise Lines playlist, which you'll find on my channel. Hopefully there'll be something there that you'll find interesting. Thank you so much for watching today, and have a great day.